You ever hold something in your hand that's supposed to symbolize love, trust, and a future, only to realize it's actually proof of betrayal? That's what it felt like the day I reached into my girlfriend's purse to grab her keys, and instead pulled out the little velvet box with my engagement ring inside. Except it wasn't the only one. Right next to it was another box, slightly different, and when I opened it my heart stopped. Another ring. Not mine. Not from me. From him. I can't even describe the cocktail of emotions that hit me in that moment. At first, confusion. Maybe she'd bought herself jewelry. Maybe it was a gift from her mom. Then, as the reality sank in, disbelief. My proposal ring, the one I'd been saving for months, hidden away like some secret trinket, and another, clearly from someone else, sitting right beside it like the two of us were competing in some sick game. I didn't even know I'd entered. Finally the anger hit. Not the loud, fiery kind, the cold kind. The kind that seeps into your bones and makes everything you thought you knew about a person feel like a lie. I sat there on the edge of the bed, both boxes in my hand, staring at them like they were loaded weapons. My chest tightened, my stomach flipped, and I swear I could hear the blood rushing in my ears. How long had this been going on? Who was he? Did she laugh at me when I talked about our future, knowing she had another man's promise ring in her purse the whole time? When she walked through the door 15 minutes later, humming to herself, shopping bags in hand, I almost confronted her right then. Almost. But something in me froze. I slipped both rings back exactly where I'd found them, sat down, and forced a smile when she kissed me. Hello. Because in that moment I realized something. If she was capable of carrying 2 engagement rings like they were souvenirs, then she was capable of lying straight to my face, without blinking. And if I exploded now, all I'd get were more lies. I needed proof. I needed to see the whole picture. That night, as she cooked dinner, I watched her carefully. The way she laughed at her phone, typed quickly, hid the screen when I walked by. The way she avoided eye contact, just a beat too long, when I asked about her day. I studied her like a detective at a crime scene, every gesture a clue, and the more I watched, the clearer it became. She wasn't mine anymore. Maybe she never was. I barely tasted the food that night. I lay in bed next to her, listening to her steady breathing, staring at the ceiling with my mind spinning. I thought about the late nights she claimed to be working, the sudden new perfume, the girls' trips that didn't add up, and I realized with a sickening certainty that the ring in her purse wasn't some random mistake. It was the tip of the iceberg. The next day, I called in sick to work. While she was out, I saw not her purse. I already knew what was in there. Her drawers, her closet, her laptop. And sure enough, the truth was everywhere. Hidden in plain sight, receipts for hotel bookings, emails to someone named, photos of dinners, little candid shots of them smiling like a couple, like we used to. And there it was, the message that made my chest collapse. Can't wait to see you tonight. I'll bring your ring so you can finally try it on. I sat there staring at the screen, feeling the world tilt beneath me. She wasn't just cheating. She was parallel building a life with him. 2 rings, 2 stories, 2 futures, and I was just the backup plan. You know what's worse than betrayal? The realization that you were being strung along, not out of love, but out of convenience. I was steady, reliable, safe. He was exciting, reckless, new, and she didn't choose between us. She tried to keep both. That weekend she suggested we go out of town. A little getaway, she called it. My gut told me it wasn't for us. It was cover for her and him. But I played along, smiled, nodded, packed a bag. Because I'd already decided I wasn't going to confront her until I had everything. Until she couldn't twist it, couldn't spin it, couldn't make me doubt my own eyes. On the drive I watched her hum to the radio, fingers tapping the steering wheel. She looked so normal, so familiar. And yet, in my head, all I could see was that second ring box. Kim slipping it on her finger in some dimly lit restaurant, while she smiled the same smile she used on me. That night in the hotel I waited until she fell asleep, then checked her phone. More messages, more proof. He called her his forever. She told him she wished she could merge her worlds. My stomach turned. Merge her worlds. I wasn't a partner to her. I was half of a double life she thought she could balance forever. When she stirred in her sleep, I shoved the phone back, lay there in the dark, and made myself a promise. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to let her paint me as the unhinged boyfriend while she played the victim. No, I was going to collect every shred of evidence, every text, every photo, every receipt. And when the time came, I was going to lay it all out, not just for her, but for everyone she'd lied to. Family, friends, the people who thought we were happy. Because if she was going to juggle 2 rings, then I was going to be the one to drop them both. For the next few weeks, I played my role perfectly, smiling, attentive, even planning little dates. She looked relieved, thinking she'd fooled me. Meanwhile, I was saving messages, backing up photos, building a timeline so airtight she couldn't wriggle out of it if she tried. Every day, the folder on my laptop grew thicker, and every day, the cold clarity inside me grew sharper. The breaking point came when she left her purse on the counter one morning, open just enough for me to see, both ring boxes, still nestled side by side, like twin secrets daring me to expose them. I stared at them for a long time, then closed the purse and walked away, because I knew the moment was coming, the reveal, and when it happened, it wouldn't just be between me and her, it would be in the open, undeniable, with no shadows left to hide in. And I can tell you this, when it finally came, it was nothing like I imagined. The reveal came sooner than I thought it would. It wasn't some carefully staged ambush like I had pictured late at night. It was messier, louder, and honestly more satisfying than anything I could have planned. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. We were supposed to have her family over for dinner. She bustled around the kitchen, humming as she set the table, her purse sitting on the counter wide open. Those damn ring boxes peeked out again, mocking me. Their mother and sister showed up first, then a couple of friends she insisted on inviting at the last minute. Everyone laughed, clinked glasses, admired the way she carried herself like the perfect partner, the future bride, the glowing woman ready to accept a proposal any day now. And that's when something inside me shifted. I'd been holding everything in, waiting for the right stage, but suddenly I realized, this was it. Right here, in my house, with the people who thought they knew her, with her family, her friends, the audience she'd been performing for all along. She wanted 2 rings, 2 futures? Fine, let's show everyone the jewelry collection. I excused myself to the kitchen, picked up her purse and carried it back into the dining room. I set it gently on the table in front of her. She blinked confused, smiled nervously. "What are you doing?" I reached in, pulled out the first velvet box, opened it. My ring. Gasps filled the room, her mother's eyes lighting up, her sister covering her mouth in excitement. They thought I was about to propose. Then I reached back in and pulled out the second box, opened it. Another ring, different design, different cut, but unmistakably the same purpose. A second proposal. The room went dead silent. You could hear the clock ticking on the wall. Her face went white, then red, then back to white. "What the hell is this?" I asked, my voice steady but sharp. Because last time I checked, most women only need 1 engagement ring. Her mother's jaw dropped. Her sister stared at her like she'd never seen her before. One of her friends muttered, "Oh my God," she stammered, reaching out as if to close the boxes. It's not what it looks like." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because the line was so predictable it almost insulted me. "Not what it looks like? Then explain why you've been carrying 2 rings. 1 from me and 1 from your affair partner. Explain why I've got screenshots of messages where he calls you his forever. Explain why there are photos of you 2 together in hotels while I worked double shifts to save for that ring you're now embarrassed to even admit is mine." Her sister stood up, pointing at her. "Is this true? Tell me it's not true." She crumbled, tears streaming down her face, words tripping over each other. I didn't mean for it to happen. I was confused. I didn't know how to choose. Her mother cut her off sharply. "You don't get 2 fiancés. You don't get 2 rings. You don't get to destroy him and expect us to clap for you." The room was chaos then. Her family demanding answers, her friends whispering furiously, her sobbing, me standing there calm, steady, watching the mask she'd worn for months finally fall apart. I gathered the boxes, snapped them shut, and slid the second one across the table toward her. "Give this back to him. Tell him the show's over. As for mine, you'll never wear it. You lost that right the second you decided I was plan B. She reached for my arm, pleading through tears. Please, we can fix this. I was scared. I was stupid. I didn't mean. I pulled back. You meant every word in those texts. Every photo you smiled for. Every time you lied to my face. You don't stumble into 2 proposals by accident. You built this. And now it's collapsed. I turned to her family, her friends, the people staring at us in stunned silence. I'm sorry you had to see this, but I'm not sorry for showing it. She's been playing 2 roles for too long, and it's time everyone saw the real one. Then I walked out, left her sitting there in a storm of whispers and shame, clutching the wrong ring while the right one stayed locked in my hand. That night I sat in my car in the driveway for a long time, staring at the dashboard. I thought I'd feel broken, gutted, destroyed, but instead I felt free. Because the worst part of betrayal isn't losing someone, it's living in the lie before you know. And once the lie is shattered, you're free to step into the truth, however painful it is. The days after were messy. She tried calling, texting, begging. Her family reached out, some angry at her, some apologetic toward me. Friends took sides, but I stayed quiet. I didn't need to argue or scream. The rings had spoken louder than I ever could. Weeks later she sent one last message. I wish I'd chosen you. I didn't reply, because the truth was, she never deserved to choose me in the first place. And now, when I think back to that moment, 2 rings side by side in her purse, I realize something important. Love isn't about being someone's option, someone's backup, someone's safety net while they chase excitement elsewhere. Love is about being chosen fully, every day without hesitation. Anything less is betrayal. She thought she could hold on to both futures, but in the end, she lost them both. And me? I walked away with nothing in my hand, but my own ring box, and everything in my heart that mattered. My self-respect, my clarity, and the power to write the rest of my story without her.